In an increasingly interconnected world, humanity faces challenges that transcend borders and impact every aspect of life. From the looming threat of climate change to the sudden onset of global pandemics and the persistent waves of political unrest, these crises can evoke feelings of anxiety, helplessness, and despair. As we navigate these turbulent times, ancient wisdom offers a beacon of hope and resilience. Stoicism, a philosophy that emerged in ancient Greece and flourished in Rome, provides practical guidance for managing our emotions, actions, and thoughts in the face of adversity. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses to them. This philosophy emphasizes the importance of virtue, reason, and understanding, the difference between what is within our power and what is not. In the context of global crises, Stoicism can help us maintain a sense of inner peace, purpose, and resolve. By applying Stoic principles, we can better understand and cope with the challenges posed by climate change, pandemics, and political unrest, turning these crises into opportunities for growth and meaningful action. In this script, we will explore how Stoic principles can be applied to modern global issues. We will delve into the key tenets of Stoicism, examine how these can be used to interpret and respond to global crises, and provide practical examples of how individuals can cultivate a Stoic mindset to thrive in an uncertain world. Understanding Stoicism. To effectively apply Stoic principles to modern challenges, it's essential to first understand the core tenets of Stoicism. Originating in Athens around 300 BCE, Stoicism was founded by Zeno of Citium and further developed by philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. The philosophy is built on four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues guide Stoics in their pursuit of a life lived in harmony with nature and reason. Wisdom. Wisdom in Stoicism is the ability to discern what is truly valuable in life. It involves understanding the difference between what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and what we cannot, external events and other people's actions. In the context of global crises, wisdom encourages us to focus on what we can do to mitigate harm or improve the situation, rather than being overwhelmed by factors beyond our control. Courage. Courage is the strength to face difficulties and challenges head-on, without being paralyzed by fear or despair. It is about taking action in the face of adversity, even when the outcome is uncertain. For instance, in the face of climate change, courage might involve advocating for environmental policies or making personal sacrifices for the greater good. Justice. Justice in Stoicism is about acting with fairness and integrity, ensuring that our actions contribute to the well-being of others. During global crises, justice can manifest as solidarity with those most affected by the crisis, advocating for equitable solutions, and recognizing our shared responsibility to the global community. Temperance. Temperance is the practice of self-control and moderation. It helps us avoid excesses and maintain balance in our lives. In times of crisis, temperance can help us resist the urge to panic or overreact, allowing us to remain calm and measured in our responses. The Stoic idea of living in accordance with nature also emphasizes accepting the world as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. This acceptance is not passive resignation, but an active engagement with reality, guided by reason and virtue. Applying Stoicism to climate change. Climate change is one of the most pressing global crises of our time. Its effects are far-reaching, affecting ecosystems, economies, and human health. The magnitude of the problem can feel overwhelming, leading to feelings of anxiety, guilt, and helplessness. Stoicism offers a framework for addressing these emotions and encourages constructive action. Accepting reality. A fundamental Stoic principle is the acceptance of reality. This means acknowledging the scientific consensus on climate change and understanding that it is a result of both natural processes and human activities. Rather than denying or despairing over the situation, Stoicism teaches us to face it with clarity and reason. Focusing on what we can control. While we cannot control global temperatures or the actions of governments and corporations, we can control our own actions and attitudes. This might involve reducing our carbon footprint, supporting sustainable practices, and advocating for environmental policies. By focusing on what is within our power, we can contribute to the solution rather than being paralyzed by the problem. Cultivating resilience. Stoicism encourages us to build inner resilience to cope with external challenges. In the context of climate change, this might mean preparing for its inevitable impacts, such as extreme weather events, while maintaining a sense of hope and purpose. Stoic resilience involves not only personal preparation, but also community engagement, working together to create adaptive strategies and support systems. Embracing global responsibility. Justice, a key Stoic virtue, calls for acting in the interest of the common good. Climate change disproportionately affects vulnerable populations, often those who contribute the least to the problem. A Stoic approach would advocate for climate justice, supporting policies and initiatives that protect those most at risk and ensure a fair distribution of resources. Practicing temperance. Temperance, or moderation, is particularly relevant in the context of climate change. It can be applied to our consumption patterns, encouraging us to live more sustainably by reducing waste, conserving resources, and making thoughtful choices about our lifestyle. This moderation not only benefits the environment, but also helps us cultivate a sense of contentment and fulfillment, independent of material excess. By applying Stoic principles to the issue of climate change, we can transform our fear and anxiety into purposeful action. Stoicism teaches us that while we may not be able to solve the entire problem, our efforts, however small, contribute to a greater good. This perspective empowers individuals to take meaningful steps toward a more sustainable future. Stoicism and Pandemics. The COVID-19 pandemic has been a stark reminder of the vulnerability and unpredictability of life. It has brought about widespread fear, uncertainty, and grief, challenging our mental and emotional resilience. Stoicism, with its emphasis on inner strength and rationality, provides valuable tools for coping with such global health crises. Understanding impermanence. Stoicism teaches us that everything in life is temporary, including our health and well-being. This understanding helps us to accept the reality of pandemics as part of the natural order. Instead of fearing the unknown, Stoics focus on what can be done to live well in the present moment, even in the face of illness and uncertainty. Managing fear. Fear is a natural response to the threat posed by pandemics. However, Stoics believe that fear should not dominate our thoughts and actions. By recognizing that fear stems from our perception of events, we can choose to respond with calm and reason. For example, during a pandemic, this might mean following public health guidelines, staying informed from reliable sources, and avoiding panic-driven behaviors. Adapting to change. The Stoic principle of accepting change is crucial during a pandemic. Whether it's adapting to new social norms, working from home, or dealing with the loss of a loved one, Stoicism teaches us to embrace change as an inevitable part of life. This adaptability helps us maintain our mental and emotional equilibrium, even when our external circumstances are in turmoil. Focusing on community. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of acting for the common good. During a pandemic, this means prioritizing the health and safety of others through collective actions like social distancing, vaccination, and supporting vulnerable populations. By viewing our individual actions as part of a larger effort, we can find meaning and purpose in even the most challenging situations. Finding peace in solitude. Lockdowns and social isolation have been significant challenges during the pandemic. Stoicism teaches that true contentment comes from within, not from external circumstances. By cultivating inner peace and self-reflection, we can endure periods of solitude without succumbing to loneliness or despair. This inward focus can also lead to personal growth and a deeper understanding of our values and priorities. In the face of pandemics, Stoicism provides a framework for managing our emotions, maintaining our composure, and acting in ways that protect both ourselves and others. By applying Stoic principles, we can navigate the uncertainties of global health crises with resilience and grace. Stoicism and Political Unrest. Political unrest, whether it arises from social inequality, authoritarianism, or other forms of injustice, can be deeply unsettling. It often leads to polarization, conflict, and a sense of powerlessness. Stoicism offers guidance on how to engage with political challenges in a thoughtful and constructive manner. Maintaining inner tranquility. In times of political turmoil, it's easy to become emotionally invested in outcomes beyond our control. Stoicism encourages us to maintain inner tranquility by focusing on our own principles and actions. This does not mean disengaging from political matters, but rather approaching them with a calm and reasoned mindset. By not allowing external events to disturb our inner peace, we can think and act more effectively. Exercising moral courage. Political unrest often calls for individuals to take a stand for what they believe is right. Stoicism teaches the importance of moral courage, standing up for justice and truth, even when it is difficult or unpopular. This might involve participating in peaceful protests, engaging in constructive dialogue, or working towards systemic change. Stoic courage is not about reckless action, but about principled action guided by reason and virtue. Practicing justice. The Stoic virtue of justice is particularly relevant in the context of political unrest. Stoics believe that all humans are part of a universal community and that we have a duty to act justly toward one another. This perspective encourages us to advocate for policies that promote equality, fairness, and human rights, and to oppose actions that harm the collective good. Accepting uncertainty. Political situations are often fluid and unpredictable. Stoicism teaches us to accept this uncertainty and to remain adaptable in our approach. By acknowledging that we cannot predict or control every outcome, we can focus on what we can do, making informed decisions, supporting causes we believe in, and accepting that change often requires time and persistence. Engaging in constructive action. Stoicism emphasizes action over despair. When faced with political unrest, it's important to channel our energy into constructive actions that align with our values. This might involve community organizing, educating ourselves and others, or working within existing systems to promote change. By taking deliberate and meaningful actions, we can contribute to positive outcomes without being overwhelmed by the scale of the challenges. Stoicism provides a framework for navigating political unrest with clarity, courage, and a commitment to justice. It encourages us to remain grounded in our values while engaging in actions that promote the common good. Global crises such as climate change, pandemics, and political unrest are daunting challenges that test our resilience, values, and humanity. However, by applying Stoic principles, we can navigate these crises with a sense of purpose, calm, and resolve. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, to act with wisdom and justice, and to maintain our inner tranquility in the face of external chaos. In the context of climate change, Stoicism encourages us to accept the reality of the situation take responsibility for our actions, and contribute to solutions that promote sustainability and justice. During pandemics, Stoicism helps us manage fear, adapt to change, and find peace in solitude, while also emphasizing the importance of community and collective well-being. In times of political unrest, Stoicism guides us to maintain our composure, exercise moral courage, and engage in actions that uphold justice and the common good. The Stoic approach to global crises is not about passive acceptance, but about active engagement with the world in a way that aligns with our highest values. By embracing Stoic principles, we can transform our fear and uncertainty into resilience and purpose, making meaningful contributions to the world even in the most challenging times. As we face an uncertain future, Stoicism offers a timeless and practical philosophy that can help us not only survive, but thrive in the face of adversity. It reminds us that while we cannot control the world around us, we can always control how we respond to it, and that is where our true power lies.